Alright, y'all, we back with another video. So today we're going to be doing the map event Grand Exorcism Battle Art Museum Arc, and we're going to be doing the new score boss that obviously dropped, I believe it was like yesterday or something at the time of recording this, right? So we're obviously going to be tackling it. As you know, this is one of those events where you try to score as high as possible. I already did it before, but we're going to try again and see if we can get a little bit higher, just for the purpose of this video itself. Now, the boss is weak to yellow. We don't necessarily care about what the boss does himself, because once we get the boss into the break status, nothing really matters from there. Keep in mind, you're unable to debuff the boss, but you are able to debuff the boss when they are in the break state, so you still can bring a character that can debuff the enemy anyways. Right, so there's no reason not to. Now, of course, we're going to be using the standard formula for when you are doing events like this. So obviously you have your buffer, which is Yaga. He's basically a staple all the time in these kind of game modes. You have Domain Megami, so if you have him, he's probably one of the best characters to be using for this, just because of how he functions. You kind of just use the ult to kind of kill the enemy, and then after you do that, then all you really have to do from there on is just use your skill ones. And then, you know, obviously we have Nanami here. Now, he's a good sub DPS. He's a good, if you wanted to use him as your main DPS, you can use him here. I'm using Nanami because he's a good sub DPS. On top of that, he also is able to increase the amount of damage taken to the enemy, so you do get a little bit of benefit out of there if you use your skill 3 the turn before ulting. And then, of course, we do have Gojo using Pride, because as you know, with Pride you are able to stack it and increase your overall damage output. So that's exactly what we're going to do, considering we're not going to be attacking with him and stalling the most to actually do the damage output. Anyways, without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so we're here straight off in the beginning. So as you already know, we're just going to use our skill ones. We're not going to do too much damage with Yaga. We're just going to be chilling. Here we're going to be using skill 3, of course, because we want to get our Megami's ult as fast as possible, and we don't really have a memory to charge him up. Nanami's going to use skill 1, to do the least amount of damage as possible, and Gojo's going to be buffing the entire time. We don't want him doing any damage whatsoever. So I believe on the third turn, that's when we'll use Pride. So here we'll attack normally, we'll skill 3 again, we'll skill 1, and then we'll buff, and the next turn we'll use Pride. Alright, so here we're going to skill 1 again, skill 1 again, skill 1 again, and then we're going to Pride and then use our skill 2. Keep in mind, the buff that it gives you, it lasts for 8 turns, so we should be fine. And we're not going to be attacking with him whatsoever. And we'll attack again, attack again, attack again, and then buff. Attack normally, attack with skill 3, attack normally, and then we will skill 2 here. Alright, so now we are in our kind of buff state for Gojo now. So now here we're going to be buffing with our Nanami, excuse me, with our Yaga. Then we're going to ult with our Megami, which is going to break the enemy, which skill 1 with Nanami because it doesn't matter. And then we'll start buffing. This will give us 4 stacks of the buffs. Now, obviously, we're going to lose a stack when we go into the turn after that with our ult, because obviously that turn we're not going to have that stack anymore. And the only way to have it is to reapply it. So that will be our ult. So we'll have 3 stacks technically of his second skill, which, you know, is the maximum that you're going to realistically get with this Gojo. So we'll skill 2 here, and then obviously that same turn that we're gonna ult, it'll be back to Limitless Curse technique, I believe, which doesn't matter because we'll have all the buffs active already. All right, very nice. So we'll just buff with Yaga again. We'll skill 1 with Megami because there's no reason to. I will also use the memory because if you don't know what the memory does, Reunion After the Rain essentially gives you a 20% Ko attribute damage dealt increase to all allies. If you don't know what Ko is, you know, yellow. So, you know, obviously most of our team is yellow. So I'm going to use it here, and it's going to last 3 turns, which is the entire duration of the break status. Then with our Nanami, we're going to be spamming skill 3 until the final turn, which we will use the memory in the ult. Because the skill 3 does increase damage taken to the enemy, and obviously it does a lot of damage, so there's no reason not to use it here and take advantage as much score as possible. And then Gojo's going to be spamming his skill 2 until we're ready to go. Alright, so now this turn we will use Wasp, Death by Wasp. This will give us a 15% damage dealt increase to our allies for 2 turns. So it'll be this turn and the turn after, which is going to increase our damage output. So we'll use this here. And we'll use skill 1 and we'll use skill 3 on our Nanami once again. And then we will buff with our Gojo. Now, obviously keep in mind our Gojo still has 3 turns left of the 60% increase. If we wanted to, we could use Pride right here. It's the same thing, but we'll just use it next turn. It's not really a big deal. It's the same thing. Alright, so we're on the final turn, and we already got like all these buffs active, which we'll show in a second. We'll show all the buffs and debuffs active. We're going to use the memory here with the ult. And yeah, obviously Gojo will be the same as well. Now, we'll just kind of show you everything that he has. So he has damage dealt by 35% on him. I believe that is from Nanami. And then we have another damage taken by 45%. Excuse me, decreases damage dealt, right? Actually, I don't even remember who that's from. Regardless, that doesn't matter. You could just ignore that first part. But yeah, damage taken by 45%. I'm pretty sure that's from Nanami. Then we have the 93% from Megami, another 93% from Megami. Obviously, I'm about to get another one from Megami. I really should max this though, like this skill on Megami. And then obviously the crit resist and the increased damage taken. Oh, okay, my fault. Wait a minute. So if this one's not Nanami, who's the 45%? Interesting. Interesting. I think the 20% is Nanami, right? Let me just check real quick just to confirm. Yeah, it's 20%. 45% from who? Well, that's of no matter. We will not complain. But yeah, anyways, these are all the debuffs active on the enemy. It doesn't matter what I said. Just, you know, these are the debuffs that are active. And obviously, I'm going to apply another one from Megami. And we're going to do that. And then we'll just kind of show you the buffs that I have active on my Nanami, and then show you the buffs that I have active on my Gojo. So we still have the buff, obviously, from the other memory on Megami. Have Black Flash Rate increase as well. Break damage dealt through skills by 20%. Doesn't really matter. That's also from the memory on Megami. Yep, and then obviously we have Gojo, who literally has, you know, he's gonna have 2 of these, right? Because obviously I'm about to use the memory right here, so it's gonna be double stacked. And then we have obviously Curse Technique increase, all of these buffs active from, you know, not only Gojo but from Yaga himself as well, and then crit rate increase, all that good stuff. We're definitely gonna do a lot of damage here. So yeah, this is the final turn. Sorry if I kind of like, you know, made it a little bit more complicated, but basically those are all the debuffs on the enemy. These are all the buffs we have active. This is going to be our maximum damage output. You don't necessarily need to use Nanami here. You can use Blue Ghetto, or realistically another buffer. You know, you could even use Yuki here, but obviously if you're trying to aim for the most amount of damage, you might not want to use Yuki. You might want to use a debuffer, just because Yuki's only going to be providing help with his ult realistically. Anyways, let's do the damage. It's time to go, time to cook. Let's see how much damage we get with this.
授業を始めよう。これで上がります。術式順天、出力最大。青。決めます。オッケー。
So 33 mil, not bad whatsoever. Obviously you could definitely get more than I did. I don't have full leveled up skills on my Gojo and my Nanami, so I do miss out on some damage that I could have. On top of that, you know, if you have more dupes, you'll naturally get more damage as well. I just didn't, you know, invest enough into Gojo because I don't really like Gojo that much. I like Geto a lot. So I invested into him full sended, and yeah, I just don't have the resources for Gojo right now. But yeah, as you can see, 33 million, not bad. We got good damage out there. There's definitely other ways to, of course, tackle this boss and get high damage, but I don't think this is really that bad overall. This is pretty high up. I'd probably say this is definitely like top 100 numbers for NA, probably top 200 for global. So it's not that bad. It's pretty good. Let me just kind of, finish up and, obviously here it doesn't matter how much damage you do. Even if you stall for ults or anything, it's the same. You're going to get the same amount of score from this boss at the end. This is literally fixed. I believe it's also fixed for the beginning too. Like the only time that you're able to get an infinite amount of score is of course in the break status. The beginning and the end are always fixed. I'm pretty sure, right? I'm positive about the end. The end is always fixed, but the beginning I'm pretty sure is also the same too because it's a fixed amount of HP. There's no real overkill on it. Anyways, enough stall. Let's just fuck him up. It's time to kill this guy. We're tired of seeing him. Let's see what does more damage. I mean, it doesn't even matter to be honest. Let's just kill him. Easy. You'll see. You'll see. I'm gonna attack him here, and I'm just gonna get a little bit of score because it doesn't really matter. Your score is always fixed there. You see, I got that little tiny bit. Yeah, so basically 36 million. Obviously, that's my highest score compared to the one that I had previously, which was like 34.8 million. Not bad. Pretty good. We had all those buffs active, all those debuffs active. I could have, invested a little bit more into my skills, and they definitely would have did a lot more damage, but they were only level 7 skills. Took me 11 turns, obviously, with stalling and everything. But yeah, that's basically going to be the Grand Exorcism Battle Art Museum Arc Score Boss Challenge, I guess you could say. Right. Anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. I'm going to be doing another video soon. Maybe with Mekamaru, maybe. We'll see. I'm not entirely sure just yet. I really don't have fun with that character. But yeah, we'll figure something out. We'll get some videos going out there, something for you guys to watch. Anyways, I appreciate y'all boys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.